All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the stream and the channel here. Looks like we've got some folks in the chat already. Michael Linsenmeyer, Radu Fierio, and I think I saw Spaceman up in here. Welcome, good to have you guys. So, let's dive right in. Last time we actually got to Minimus and back, and that completed our orbits of both of the moons of Kerbin here. So today we're going to spend all our fat stacks of science and we are going to head back to Minimus and try to land there on its very low gravity body. So that's the plan. Not quite sure how we're going to do, but we're going to try it. Actually, let me make sure I load up the stream save. There we go. And let's warp to sunrise. Okay. So, year one, day 82. 82 days into the space program, and we've already been to the moon and Minimus. We need to build a new VAB, but first, let's go over to research and development, and let's spend some of this delicious, delicious science. Now, one thing I definitely want to find is the next grade of cockpit. I'd like to have the Mark III command module. That lets me put 3 Kerbals in. And I don't know where that is, but that's something that I want to get going for sure. So let's take a look. We've got other adapters over here. That's kind of interesting. We've got nose cone, protective shell. Okay. Specialized construction, actuators. Perfecting the art of making things mobile without the explicit use of explosives, our engineers assure this is actually a good thing. What is an activator? An advanced grabbing unit. Kerbal motion engineers have long struggled with the problem of how to extract drop tools from complicated machinery. After observing an intern cleaning out his shoes by turning them upside down and shaking them inside the lab, our team was hit with a stroke of inspiration. Why not turn the rocket parts upside down and shake them? The grabbing arm perfectly filled this niche and is quite capable of lifting heavy machinery. It has since found other uses besides delicate tool extraction operations, aka the claw. Okay, supersonic flight. That has the Mark II cockpit, which has a capacity of 2, so we might have to settle for this depending on how far along the line we can go. Advanced aerodynamics. Advanced landing. We're probably definitely going to need this, but look how expensive it is. Wow. Specialized control. Command modules. Hold on, here we go. This has a crew capacity of 1. Here's the Mark III, crew capacity of 3. Okay, so I think we want this. It's more down the Mark III command. There's also the hitchhiker module. You can store 4. You can't control from it, however. Gotcha. By the way, Michael, I ended up going back and watching your stream where you rescued Valentina. Well done. Congratulations on that. Really inspired me to try to figure out how to do precise landings. So one of the things we're going to look at when we get to Minimus is picking a landing spot and then seeing if we can get as close to it as possible. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. So we definitely want this, the Mark III command pod. So the prerequisites are space exploration and advanced flight control. This is expensive. We may not be able to get, let's see, 160 plus 180 is 340. We can just get there. Okay, so we're not going to be able to buy anything else, but let's see what we're getting here. Advanced flight control. The latest advancements in keeping the correct end of the ship pointing where you want it to go. So we have an advanced inline stabilizer. That seems good. The Mark I lander can. This capsule was designed for lightweight, non-atmospheric landers and seats a single occupant. Features a novel, full-body crumple zone technology. So, I don't think we're going to use this because we want to take our... Well, maybe we will. Maybe we should hold off on being too ambitious here. I was thinking we wanted to take the Science Junior down so that we could do... You know, so that we could do a... an experiment on the ground, but maybe we attach this to our ship and just send one scientist down or one pilot. The problem is, I'm thinking, we have to land and then get back into orbit from the surface, and without a pilot who has the stability assist to help, I don't know whether that's going to be feasible. So I don't know about this lander can. What else do we have? The Stratus 5 roundified monopropellant tank. Okay, so we can get a little extra monopropellant. Small radially attachable RCS tank. Linear RCS port. Okay, so for the first time, we're actually going to be able to put RCS on our ship to orient it instead of relying solely on reaction wheels. So this might be something we look into. Got a thruster block, a variable thruster block, and another RCS port. Okay. Well, this is a prerequisite for our command module, so we're going to research this. And then we have space exploration here. To boldly go where no green man has gone before. Available parts. The SEQ-3 cargo storage unit by the Experimental Engineering Group. This sturdy unit keeps the expensive and delicate equipment our astronauts need to bring with them safely stored. Rigorous engineering studies have shown it to be 20% more effective than a picnic cooler and some duct tape at making sure these items arrive intact at their destination. Okay. So this is a very low mass kind of storage unit. Then we've got an EVA repair kit. This repair kit has tape, tools, widgets, and other knickknacks to allow intrepid Kerbals to effect repairs on broken parts that may have suffered unplanned disassembly. Note, repair kits are used up when effecting repairs, and more than one repair kit may be required for especially large parts. Okay, so I don't know when we would use this. I guess if we had some sort of impact or something broke during launch, maybe? But I don't know that we're going to spend mass on this. We've got a SEQ-3C conformal storage unit, a small storage container, but built with conformal aerodynamics in mind to allow its use on both aircraft and spacecraft. Perfect for small cargo needs or a secret supply snack. So this could be filled up with with pretzels. Let's see. Factory Guy, I did see your post. You're the first person to post on the subreddit, aside from me, for like 7 years. So one of my viewers way back in like 2013, 2014, when I was streaming on Twitch, created that subreddit. It never really got anywhere because I stopped streaming shortly after. But I did want to create a place where you guys could kind of like discuss things and kind of have conversations about my content. So I started it up again. We'll see whether anything happens with it or if it just remains empty. But I saw your post, so cheers. Thanks for you posting there, and welcome back to the stream. There's a cheaper 2-man pod. This is the guy you're talking about last stream. We can discuss it in the comments, IG. Okay. We've got the Hitchhiker storage container, crew capacity of 4, by Jebediah Kerman's Junkyard and Spacecraft Parts Company. The HSE was an invention of necessity. How do we store 4 Kerbals on orbit without any real provisions for return? Who needed this remains a mystery, as do his motivations. We've got the Pegasus 1 mobility enhancer, known in some circles as a ladder, is a state-of-the-art vertical mobility device allowing your intrepid crew to scamper around the exterior of your ship like highly caffeinated rodents. That's very nice. Then we've got a work lamp, another work lamp, and the Rovemax Model S2. Okay, so we could theoretically build a rover. All right, let's grab this. And now let's grab the command module. So we're going to get the Cupola module, developed to provide a high-visibility control room for orbital stations, a place for thoughtful Kerbals to contemplate the beauty of the cosmos. Well, we're not going to use that anytime soon. But we've got a lander can with 2, and a service bay. Okay, so we're going to research this. And now, just like that, we're down to 40 science. We're out again. We're going to need to go somewhere and do something interesting. Okay. Let's see. If we were going to upgrade one of our stations... Well, let's wait until after we've done a successful landing. Let's go to the VAB, and we're going to make a new ship here, right? So, get ready for the shipbuilding part of the stream, because that's what's going to happen now. We're going to start with the Mark 1-3 command pod. Alright, so crew capacity of 3. We're kind of all set to go here with this. Let's rotate it so that it's facing east. And we pitch forward on launch. Okay. Now then, we should throw a reaction wheel on top. I'm trying to remember where reaction wheels are. Utility? What do we got here? Cargo, science, communications, electrical thermal, ground, air So coupling, structural, command and control. Here we go. Okay. So we've got the small inline and the advanced inline stabilizer. This one has less mass. The advanced inline stabilizer module containing a larger, heavier array of reaction wheels. These spin very quickly to create torque without wasting propellant. These larger wheels are driven by proportionally larger electric motors, so keep an eye on your electricity levels. I think we will take the... Yeah, you know what? Maybe we don't need the larger one. What is the electric charge draw? Requires 0.5 per second versus 0.3 per second. You know what? It's not that much bigger. We're going to have batteries on this bad boy. Oh, it is big, though. Maybe we'll stick with the small one. Now, that's interesting. I guess this is a much larger... Yeah, it makes sense, because it fits 3, right? Maybe we do need the big one. And then we're going to need a nose cone. So we have this one. Okay. So we're going to have our 3 Kerbals. And then underneath it, we're definitely taking the Science Junior down to the surface. So we could use the experiment storage unit, I suppose. What does this look like? Oh, that's very small. After discovering that old snack boxes were also really effective at storing mystery goo and data tapes, Kerbal scientists created the experiment storage unit to help Kerbonauts bring their valuable science back to Kerbin, while avoiding the hazards of re-entry, rough landings, and Jeb's piloting skills. So, I'm not sure what, I guess you put this on the exterior and then you store things inside it, is the idea? But let's grab the Science Junior here. Now, this is interesting. I actually think we're gonna put the Science Junior on top, like this. So that way we're lower with the mass here, right? I think that's good. Get your mission control upgraded. I think you can get surface samples after that. Glorious JP, it's under the fuel tanks. What Radu said, surface samples worth over 100 science. Okay, all right. So this is going to be our new attempt at a lander. So pretty much this thing is going to be landing, I guess. We're going to have to put an engine on it and some landing struts. So if we're gonna land it, why don't you guys think about names for this vessel? We will save that as a draft, and we'll head over to the tracking station. You said, get your mission control upgraded. Okay, mission control. Are you sure this is the one that lets you do science samples, surface samples? Hang on, let's take a look at some of these other things. So mission control, spaceplane hangar, astronaut complex, unlimited active Kerbals. So Kerbals can perform EVAs and Kerbals on EVA can place flags. We already have that. Research and development. So we already have Kerbal EVAs can collect surface samples, so we're good there. Science Hopper 1. Pretty straightforward, but that could work. Yeah, what else could we call this? I don't know. I'm going to keep building. You guys think about what you want to name this guy. Okay, so we've got our science bay, we've got our reaction wheel, we've got our nose cone for aerodynamics. For survival, we're definitely going to need our radial parachutes. So... structural, command and control, engines... Wait, I thought utility had the... Yeah, here we go. The radial mount parachutes. So we have the Mark 12R. That's the half size. We want the Mark 2R. Okay. So let's make sure our snapping mode is on, and let's go into 3s. And let's attach 3 of these radial bad boys. Do we want to... I don't think we want to put them on the Science Junior. Or maybe we do. If we do this, can it still open its doors? Yes, it can still open its doors. It can still do science. Okay. So let's move. Let's have these parachutes be kind of right there-ish. That's fine. So there's our parachutes. If we're going to Minimus, we are going to need an antenna. So let's go to communications and get the Communotron set up as well. For this one, we don't need symmetry. We'll just throw it on the back. I do like the idea of placing it vertically. Okay, there we go, like that. So this is going to try to land on Minimus, right? So I think we want a nice wide base for it, and then we need some landers. And then we're going to need to detach the whatever landing engines we use. So we're going to need a heat shield here, as well as a decoupler for final reentry. So let's go into our decouplers here. Not yet. Hold on. First, we need the heat shield. So let's go to thermal. There we go. Now, one thing that was pointed out to me is that I don't need all of this mass. So the last time we landed, I think we only used like 100. I'm going to leave, I think, like 240, 320. We'll leave 320 on here. That'll save us a little bit of mass, but that should still be enough ablator for us to do re-entry when we get back. Let's see. Is it going to the moon or Minimus? It's going to the Minimus. Yeah, we're going out further because it's easier to land there. Baller 64, Munster Smack 01, Kermooner Lander, Valhalla 1, Kermit Lander. Like that. Don't need landing gear. And paint it green. I kind of like Kermit. So, Kermit the frog, Kermit the hog, Kermit the dog, bog, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Oh, Kermit the log. It'll be a big, long, Kermit, it'll be a big, long green log. There we go. There's your dick joke, Michael. Minimus, surface, or bust. All right. So, we've got our ship name, Kermit the Log. I don't know if I can paint it green. Let me look at the variants here. How does that work? Control point. Are there variants for the command pods? I don't think there are. We can go gray. Yeah, we're kind of stuck with what's available here. And a lot of these vessels, a lot of these pieces don't have variants per se. So, I mean, the closest we can get is, I guess, yeah, it's just white or black, unfortunately. All right, so let me go back to need landing, LMAO, don't think you can paint it. All right, so Kermit the Log we're working on here. Let's think this through. We have to come back and do some more science in a minute. All right, so we've got our ablator set on our heat shield, so we're going to be able to survive re-entry. We've got the ablator, or the heat shield, and the radial parachutes. So that's all good. Let's make sure these are configured correctly. We want them to pop around nice and early, around 1500. That'll slow us down. What else? What else do we need? We're going to need our decoupler next, right? Okay, so now we need some sort of way to actually land this beast. So let's go look at our fuel tanks here. I want kind of the, yeah, I want the short boy here, and I think we want our most. So this is going to have 360 fuel. This is gonna be our main land and this is gonna be the main fuel tank for landing and taking off from Minimus. We won't need that much, I don't think. So then, if we look at our engines, I want to see what's our most efficient engine. What has our highest ISP? Okay, so let's take a look at this. This one's new. A small turbojet, not very efficient, anemic thrust, but hey, it's cheap and it's so cute. Look at the thing. Okay. Engine ISP 6400 in a vacuum. That seems crazy good. Isn't ISP the one we want? Output at full power, electric charge 1. Max thrust 20.6 kilonewtons. Stationary thrust 20 kilonewtons. But engine ISP is 6,400. Intake air. Wait, propellants. Intake air 1.402 per second. Max drains evenly. Liquid fuel. Engine stops under 10%. So there's not a lot of thrust on this, but the ISP is fantastic. It says not very efficient, though. Catch up with the chat. You need landing gear. I don't think you can paint it. It's a jet engine, only works in the atmosphere. Okay, so that's why it's saying intake air. Got it. Okay. So we've got the Terrier we're familiar with. The ISP here, 85, 345 in a vacuum. The Reliant. So we're looking at 345 in a vacuum as our kind of like main number that we want to work with. So this is 310. Swivel's 320. This thud is 305. That's 320. That's 350. The Poodle. Okay. So the Poodle remains our most efficient engine. And it has 250 kilonewtons of thrust. 6.55 per second liquid fuel. Variants, double bell, single bell. Okay. So I do think we want this engine. Let's put one of these on here. And since this is a lander, I think we'll switch the variant to the single bell, although that does make it taller. So maybe not. And then we have a gimbal limit. I think Michael mentioned this in one of the previous streams. It's a jet engine, only works. Poodle. Yeah, the Poodle. Michael, why would I want to limit the gimbal here? I'm not quite sure about that. Just to kind of prevent how things work. Now, the interesting question I have, 418 meters per second, but that's in the atmosphere. In a vacuum, 1620. I feel like that should be more than enough to land on Minimus and come back, right? So the only question is, if we have detached this and landed on Minimus, is that enough to get all the way home? Or do I need more thrust than that, or more meters per second than that? So like, assume we get into orbit around Minimus and then dump everything else, and this is all we have left. Is that enough to get home? Pandian, welcome back to the channel. Good to see you again. Poodle, so you don't oversteer. Gimbal limit. Okay. Well, I'm not sure I want to set that. Limit the gimbal because you waste less fuel and burn more time directly. Let the reaction wheels do the work. So what would you put this at? I guess we'll just turn it down a little bit because I'm not familiar with it. We'll give it a shot. We'll put the gimbal limit at 80. I don't know how that works, but if we take a look at the engine itself, the gimbal vectoring range is 5. So if we limit it to 80%, that should limit it down to 4, I guess? 4 degrees? Maybe. I'm not sure I completely understand how that works. To keep from going out of control by limiting how far the engine will pivot. Of course, if you get into a bad spot, your recovery authority is also limited. But you were using a Poodle to escape Kerbin, that's why I said that. Ah, okay. So let's take a quick look here. Hang on a minute. We had... was the DV map? Yeah, okay. Let's transition here. And if we take a look at this, if we take a look at the image here, how do I, there we go. So is it dragging for you guys as well? Okay, good. I need to, let's take a look at, where's Minimus? Okay, so Minimus orbit, if we're at Minimus orbit, right, then it's 180 to land, I guess is the idea. And then we have to go back. So 360. 360 plus 150 is 510. Plus 930 is, because we don't care about the inclination, we just need to get back to Kerbal, or Kerbin. So what was that? 510 plus 930 is 540 is 1440, I guess would be the absolute minimum to land on Minimus and return. Am I reading that correctly? Plus we would need a little bit to get out of orbit. So I think 1440 is sort of the minimum we need if I'm reading this correctly. Check your TWR on Minimus. Let's see. So if I look at... So TWR on Minimus in a vacuum, it's like 2.41 or something, I guess, in a vacuum. If we switch this back to... We switch our DV back to sea level. TWR is 0.62 on Kerbin, and then it's 2 and change, 2.4 in a vacuum. So I'm not sure what that means for Minimus. But we've got 1627 here, so we might need a little bit more in case I make mistakes. Once you're in space, 1440, sure. Okay. So how could I add just a little bit more extra fuel here? Do we have a teeny tiny little fuel tank? What is this? That's monopropellant. 4.5 tons. So I suppose this is the Rockomax brand. Drain valve, fuel tanks. I suppose what I want to do here, right, is add another one of these, but then drain it of the fuel. So I'll get like half of this, because the tank itself doesn't take up that much mass. It's the fuel inside that fills up the mass, right? So if we do something like that, now what are we looking at? 2207? I'm more comfortable with that. That gives me a little bit more wiggle room here. Okay. So then we're going to need some way to actually land this thing. How are we going to do that? I want you facing like this. There we go. Okay. Switch the body from the button you clicked. Use the one slightly larger and change your starting amount. Switch the body from the button you clicked. Oh. Body. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Okay, so on Minimus, it's only vacuum. So Minimus DV is 2207 compared to, well, right now it's in the vacuum. Yeah, okay. So it's the same as vacuum on Minimus, essentially. But let's look at our TWR. 37.77. That seems like a lot. Check TWR. That's insane, right? That's way, way, way more TWR than we need. All right, let's come back to Kerbin here. That's overkill, yeah. So you're saying rather than using the X208, use maybe the 16 and change the fuel amount? So rather than having two of these, is there a significant difference? This is 4.5 tons and this is 9 tons. You can limit the engine power or increase the fuel. Thrust limiter. Yeah, no. When we lift off, I'm not gonna bang the throttle. If we lift off for Minimus, I'm gonna just tap the shift key. Or if you can change this in flight, like I might do something like this, right? I might actually come in here and limit the thrust. Let's put this at 20%. See what that looks like. 0.38. Wait a minute. No, let's go back to Minimus. Yeah, so we need to get our TWR somewhere between 1 and 2, right? Okay, so if I limit the thrust to like 4% here, that's gonna be perfect. So we'll try and keep that in mind. We'll see if we can change that in flight. Otherwise, I'll use the shift key. You can in flight, or even just use the Terrier engine. Use that little stubby engine. The Terrier instead of the Poodle. So if I use the Terrier instead, it's much smaller. 2502. 2207. Okay, so it has less mass. The Terrier. Maybe we do use the Terrier. Just pop that on there like that. It's got a slightly lower ISP, but because it weighs less, so this is 0.5 tons versus 1.75 tons. Okay. So then maybe we don't. Maybe we reduce this a little bit more even. $2,200. Let's pop it back up a little bit. Let's give ourselves a little bit more wiggle room. 2390. So that should be more than enough because we need 14 some odd, right, to get to land on Minimus and get back. This can allow us to make a bunch of mistakes. I mean, I guess we could take it down further. Maybe we don't even need this second tank now. That's 2028. That's 600 spare. Then you can use landing. DV also goes up by 300. Now swap out and only use one small tank. Okay, so you're saying I don't even need this second tank, but I'm worried about, I'd like to have extra. That's only 1890. We need around 1500 to do the whole maneuver. And I'm worried about, like, if I need extra to get home, but this would be probably more stable for landing. I can see that for sure. And we are gonna be adding a little bit more mass though. What other fuel tanks do we have? So for the Rocco Max size, we really only have the 8 and the 16. Fill it up. Add a fit 200 under the Terrier. What is a fit? This one's at 100%. This one's full. So remember, we had two fuel tanks here. Add an FIT 200 under the Terrier. I don't know what that means, Radu. Fill up your gas tank. So we had two. We had a full one and then a second one with a little extra in it. You know what? This is okay. 1890 is okay. We can make this work. Let's now look at landing. Ground. So we've got the micro landing strut. A small landing leg designed for space probes or lightweight landers, basically made of toothpicks. Space-grade toothpicks, mind you, but be careful with them anyway. Tolerance, 10 meter per second impact. Mass, 0.015. And then these are heavier, but they have a higher tolerance. The LT1 landing struts by the Moving Parts Experts Group. It may have been originally designed as a heavy-duty metal detector, but this landing leg certainly emphasizes an important fact in surface landings. You don't need to put a crater in the ground to stop yourself. I think for Minimus, we can use the toothpicks, right? So we want plenty of these. I think we'll go for 6. And let's get these on here as close to the exterior as we can. Now, is that gonna work? That's low enough that the engine will be above the ground. I feel like let's look at its center of mass. It's centered, but it's not high, so it's not going to be wibbly wobbly. Can you put? No, you can't probably. I mean, I could put a structural block here. We could put some kind of structural something around the outside of this to give it a wider footprint, but I think that's okay, right? Now, one thing I do want to look at is Start retracted, deploy shielded. So we start retracted, okay. And then one thing I wanted to look at was action group. Actions, yeah. Gear, extend, retract. I don't know what just happened. Lights, RCS, SAS. So it disappeared. Activate action sets. Group actions set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4. I don't really know what this is. The gear disappeared. Do I have to have it selected? Selection. Friction control, extend, retract. Group actions. Oh, I see. Group actions. So this is pushing it into the selection, or like saying, so now I could, for example, like extend one of them at a time. We do want them to be grouped like that. T05 micro landing strut. Okay. So these are still grouped. Okay, got it. So Kermit the Log now is capable of landing, I think. Add an FLT 200 under the Terrier. Oh, a tank. Okay. Use 6 of those legs. Don't forget other experiments. You only have the Science Junior in the ship now. You don't have custom actions unlocked just yet, so I have to do that manually. Got it. Okay. Yes, so this would be our lander. Then the final stage for re-entry, we jettison the lander legs and the flight engine and just land with the heat shield. Now, Radu's recommended, or no, Michael's recommended an FLT 200 underneath for the ascent. FLT 200 fuel tank under the Terrier. Why would I do this? Oh, I see. So this would be a little extra bit of juice before we get into that stage. Okay, I sort of understand. So hold on. So we would need another decouple. That's kind of a good idea. But we could actually... So the FLT 200 is 2.25 tons. We could go even smaller. We could go with the T200. No, the T200 is what you recommended. 1.125. What else do we have here? The Mark 0 liquid fuel fuselage. A small container for jet fuel. Okay, that's not going to work. So this is the small... Yeah, the T200 is the smallest one available. To give us a little extra jump, right? A little extra push. So if we do that, and then we throw another... But we need another engine on it, though, which is more mass. But I guess that's okay. Put another Terrier there, like that. That's kind of what you're talking about. So that gets our whole profile to 2187. If I take it off and trash it... Yeah, okay. So that's a good idea, Michael. We'll just add a very small mass, a little bit of extra weight and fuel to get us a little bit more DV, a little bit more comfortable. So we're going to need a decoupler, and then we're going to need the T200 and another Terrier. Okay, that works. That gives us a little bit more wiggle room here. Use 6 of those legs. Radu did the recommendation. Oh, okay, Radu, I appreciate that. All right, so we've got, we definitely have 6 of the legs, so we're good there. Now we need to get this whole puppy into orbit, right? That's the next step. Oh, wow. Okay, my laptop just froze for a minute there. We had a serious... Am I still streaming? Okay, I think I'm okay. It froze for a good 10 seconds there. All right. So anyway, I started blasting. I guess we just keep going here. So we're gonna need to escape the Kerbin. We're gonna need to escape Kerbin here. So we're gonna need a much larger escape profile here. Do we want to go back to Rockomax here? I guess we probably do. How do I select the entire vessel? Right with the command pod. So it would be nice if we could get a shroud or something here. I'm not sure how that works. But let's get, I guess, 2 of these going. And then we want big, powerful engines on this. So something more like the Reliant, I think. Right? We have a new one here, the Skipper. Thrust in atmosphere 568. Maybe we want the Skipper here. Let's take a look. Vectoring range 2? Yeah. Okay, maybe this is the beast we want. Let's put one of these on. Why not? Okay, that gets us to 5,380 here, but I think we're not. Let's go back to Kerbin, sea level, altitude, vacuum, sea level. Okay, this is starting to look pretty good. I'm worried about this open space here, to be honest. We are going to need aerodynamics, right? And maybe some boosters. Let's throw some kickbacks on here. I think we'll do 3 here. I'm not sure if we need 3, but we'll try 3. We'll see what that looks like. Let's get some radials. And then let's try the backs. Looks like they need to be higher. Correctly. Something like this. Okay, so our first stage here, TWR 1.49, that's pretty solid. And 1245, okay. And then our... It's not calculating the rest of this, but that's okay. Do we reset this? There we go. 1784, it says. 3590. Well... So the first stage, 1.49, and then when we jettison, then we've got 2 engines here. Hold on, that's not right. We need to separate this out. So first stage is the boosters, then the decouplers. That's fine. Second stage, we need to get rid of this. This needs its own stage. So this guy gets a stage, right? And then where's the other decoupler? Hang on. Did I not put another decoupler on? I don't think I did. Oh, yikes. So wait a minute. What was this? No, that's a decoupler. Hold on. Where is the... No, I missed this. Okay. We need another decoupler there, I think. Yes. And now we come in and attach this underneath that. Okay, that looks good. So this is a stage, and then this guy's a stage. There we go. Okay, that looks better. Use skipper with the little side mount engines. Don't forget fins. Please add more science, or this won't be profitable. Yeah, we're definitely gonna add. We're definitely gonna add the science. Open widget. Your YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Guys, let me know if there's a problem with the stream. I'm not sure if this error message is correct. It looks okay to me, but it is giving me a warning here. This will be the interesting part. You will need to design outward, not upward, to keep stability. Please add more science. Use skipper with the little side mount engines. Don't forget fins. They look like a small rounded triangle. I also found out that multiple mounts in a line don't work. Stream looks good. Okay. So the skipper engine, that's this one? You're saying... We've got the bear, the truss mount, or the shroud. So if we... Okay, I gotta get the staging that we've already got in here set up, right? So... Our first stage is the boosters, then we decouple them. Then our second stage is the skipper, and then we decouple that. So the skipper's using both of these tanks. And the skipper is going to have... It's going to decouple at the same time, so it has 0. So it needs another... We need yet another stage here. There we go. That gets us, okay. That fixes the problem. So, first stage boosters, decouple them. Second stage, the skipper. That's gonna have lots of thrust, plenty of TWR. Not the greatest ISB, but 2700 delta V. That's enough to get us to orbit around Minimus, I think. So then we decouple that. Then we have one more stage here. Now this only has 79 meters per second, so maybe maybe this isn't even worth it. Is this not connected, or why is that so low? The T200, yeah, I'm not sure this is worth at the moment. 79 meters per second, I'm not, oh wait a minute, we've got to switch to a vacuum. 319 meters per second, okay, so that is fine. It's a small little drip drap of fuel, but that's enough in a vacuum to get us somewhere. Then we disconnect that. Then we've got our main Terrier engine with 1866, and then finally the last decoupler for our re-entry pod. Okay. So this like open area worries me, but we're gonna try it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Somebody dies a fiery death and we lose them? That probably is the worst that can happen. Let's go to aerodynamics here. I do want to slap a little nose cone on there. And then I wish there was some way to, like, draw a shroud here. I don't know if that's possible. It's because this thing's inside and there would be no way to get rid of it after we launched, I suppose. Stream looks good. Stream's fine. Okay. It's other engines that you add and they mount to the sides of fuel tanks. You still haven't added science. Yeah, no, okay. Radu is losing his goddamn mind over the science. So let me do that. Because otherwise he's gonna, like, have a stroke. Okay. So we've got our antenna back here. Let's throw on... So we're going to be in orbit around Minimus, but we've already done all of our science there. So we only need one of each to... We only need one of each, really. Should I experiment with this experiment storage unit? So it says that it's supposed to provide protection for re-entry. Let me try placing 2 of these. Let's go to radial. And let's place 2 of these experiment storage units on the sides of the craft, like this, like so. And then what? Then I can... I don't understand how these work. now that these are placed, do I kind of throw something inside it, or how does the part work? This is a cargo part that can be placed inside inventories. Scientists created experiment storage units to help Kerbins bring their valuable science back to Kerbin while avoiding the hazards of re-entry. So, like, this would go inside Kerbal's inventory? Alright, I'm not sure about that. Let's just do the good old-fashioned mystery goo. Slot that right there. So we'll have 2 of those. And then we'll get a pressure barometer and a temperature gauge. Okay, that's everything we can do, Radu. I hope you're able to, like, calm down and eat your breakfast now. You can draw a shout. Use fairings from aerodynamics. You don't have fairings. I think fairings are very important. No storage is not needed. No needed extra weight. They collect science when you click the Collect All Science button. You add it inside pod. Ah. Like that? Okay, it's saying 280 out of 200 L, so I'm not sure what that means. Liters? Is that like a measure of storage space or weight? This is what, 50 kilograms? Yeah, it's not fitting in there, so. Anyway, we're okay. We've got the Science Junior, and we've got goo, we've got pressure, we've got that stuff. And actually, when we get home, if we have leftover fuel, what we can do is try to land the lander somewhere we haven't landed before. Like, we could aim for the North Pole, we could do something like that, and maybe we get some goo and readings and soil samples and what have you from elsewhere. Now, one other thing we need, we did unlock the ladder, right? The Mark 1 ladder. The Pegasus 1 mobility enhancer. So I think we need this down the front of the craft here, right? Do I need one of these like this? How high can this go? And how does that work? Do I build like 2 of them, or how does it? I guess I do it like that. I don't know. We'll just add that for fun, for funsies. Now you were saying I could draw a fairing from aerodynamics. Wing connector, tail fin, swept wings, small circular intake. Elevon 1. This is another wing part. We do need some wings here, actually. I forgot about that. I think these boosters are kind of stuck in the ground at the moment. Hang on. Let's lift them up just a skosh. There we go. I think those are... Nope, that's not connected at all. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Nice idea, the North Pole. Ladder isn't needed. You don't add it inside, you add it where it's liters. Okay, protected in re-entry. It's too big, ladder isn't needed. Nice idea with the North Pole. The EVA jetpack can get them back without it. It's just drag and mass. You don't have a fairing. Your pod is shorter than my rescue. Won't need ladders, but it's pro looking. Okay. Oh yeah, it's pro look. It's like it's a nice touch to have the ladders, right? Sure, we'll leave them. Okay, so we don't have fairings. Let's save the Kermit the log here briefly, and let's see where fairings would be in R&D. Fairing. Can I like select the whole thing? No. Aerodynamics. Wing connector. Wait. Air intakes. Would it be further down the line here of aerodynamics? Supersonic flight. Advanced aerodynamics. What do we got here? Basic science, miniaturization, electrics, precision engineering. There's so much stuff left to do. This is crazy. Specialized control, advanced reaction wheel, simplified monopropellant tank, air brakes. This wouldn't be under aviation. This would be under rocketry, right? So propulsion systems, heavier rocketry, precision propulsion, advanced fuel systems, large volume containment, nuclear propulsion, heavier rocketry. I don't know where it is, you guys. Actuators, supersonic flight, high altitude flight. All right, we'll have to mess with this another time. It's next level after this. It's the top at a bit 8, I think. They look like cones chopped in half. Looking construction. Airstream protective shell. Is that this one? Protecting parts on ascent was just as important. Maybe it's this, the Airstream protective shell. Okay, so we can't buy it, but maybe this is the next thing we look at. So what do we have selected? General construction, advanced construction. That's it, the protection shell. Okay, so we can't afford it right now. So I don't know what impact this like open air nonsense is going to have on the launch. Maybe what we do, do we get rid of this stage? You know what? I think as much as I like Michael's idea of just using a teeny tiny bit of mass to get the extra kick, I do think this is a little bit dangerous having this. So I'm going to go back to my previous design. Let's take this off. Hang on, I got to figure out how to do this. So we're going to take this piece off. And then that was the engine. We'll get rid of that. And this was what? What even is this? This is another fuel tank. Then we have our... Right, okay. So I'm going to pull this down. And instead of doing that, because we don't have the aerodynamics thing, I'm just going to put another one of these on. Which means we have to move the legs down. And extend the ladder. Let's put more ladder on. Just a little bit. There we go. This is on the wrong side of the ship, isn't it? Yeah. A little bit of extra help for the Kerbals. It's not that much mass, right? Okay, so then we'll drop this down a little bit, because we don't need that much. We'll drop it like that, and we'll see what the calculations say. So 2209, that's good, that's enough. Okay, so now let's reattach the rest of this beast. So we are going to need another decoupler here, right? I want this one? Yeah. Huh, so that's still open a little bit. What was this? Yeah, the engine's just kind of small. That's a little bit better, I think. It's still not great. So that's because we're using this small Terrier engine instead of the instead of the... What was the other one? The Poodle? Do we want to switch to the Poodle? That's it, you're good. Radu's idea, be blaming me. I thought it was you who said to use that little one. It's a good idea, though. It is. He would be fine, but I agree it's an aesthetic thing. The ladders are blocking the decoupler. It's going to get nasty on re-entry. You need a small gap in the decoupler. Make sure your lander legs stretch past the engine. Okay. Let's get rid of the chunk of the ladder that's a problem. We need to move this further away. Okay. Now our decoupler's nice and clean. And I do think, actually, we're going to swap the Terrier here for the Poodle. This one, so compared to the Terrier, ISP is 345 versus 350. So this one is heavier, though. That was the problem, right? Damn, I forgot about that. So it would be really nice if we could... Does this have a variant that's, like, wider? No, and we don't have the fairing, so there's no way to, like, deal with that. So we're still, no matter what we do, we're still going to have this problem, but at least this way it's much smaller. There's just a little bit of a gap there in the profile. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much of a problem with drag. All right, so we've got our lander, we've got science, we've got plenty of DV with the boosters. We are going to need some fins here for aerodynamics. So, I think we're going to go with... We want the kind of, yeah, we want the delta wings here, right? Let me swap back down to radial. It won't let me do radial. That's really interesting. So I guess we're going to go like this. And then we'll have another basic fin a little bit higher up. So we've got some aerodynamics, we've got our boosters. This little gap in the profile does worry me, but what can you do, right? I mean, there's nothing to do. That engine's just teeny tiny and we don't have a way to build the fairings yet. Protective shell. We've got our antenna. Oh, we need batteries. We need batteries for sure. Where's electrics? Let's slot some batteries on this bad boy. Let's go down to... We only need 2, I think. Now this is strange. Why is it like insisting on radial here? I don't want radial. I want binary. I want 2, not 3. And it keeps putting 2 on. It keeps putting 3 on. Like it changes it. See, I can do 1, but if I try to put 2, it like auto swaps it to 3. No matter what I do, it's toggling back to a different... Is it because I'm touching the other part of the... Is there a hotkey for this? It's okay. Gap is too small because you have other radials already. Okay. So hold on. Let's detach everything. Let's get rid of the radial stuff. And then come over here. Let's go down to 2 now. There we go. So as long as it's not like touching the other thing, it's fine. We've got room here underneath the thermometer for the batteries. Okay, so we got 2 batteries, 2 thermometers, 2 barometers, 2 goos, and we have up here our Science Junior. Whee! Okay, I think we're ready. We've got DV, we've got boost, we've got communications, power, we've got the heat shield, we've got the re-entry stuff. I think this is pretty good. This is a pretty good first build for Kermit the Log. I don't know whether you guys are going to survive re-entry or you're going to survive launch or not. It's ready. Let's go. Okay, so we got to crew this bad boy. So, first of all, in terms of pilots, Jaco isn't here, so we're going to need a new pilot. But in terms of the scientist and engineer, Spaceman I think is here, right? Is Spaceman here still? Did he leave? Got Michael and Radu. Spaceman was here briefly. If anyone else wants to get in this ship and go to Minimus, let me know now. All right. Well, Radwina is definitely going, and Radu says get Bob. So you want Bob for the scientist? Okay. So I think Radwina inspired Michael's widow, Michaela, as well. I think she was inspired to join the space program, so she learned how to be a pilot. Jaco, Radwina, Bob. I don't know what happened to... Sometimes this doesn't quite work the way you think it does. Let me go into Kerbals, create. Michaela is a pilot at level 1 with, we'll make her a badass. With lots of courage and very low stupidity. Okay. So, the Kermit the Log will be piloted by Michaela Kerman with first mate engineer Radwina Kerman and ensign Bob Kerman along to do some science. Do we have a better scientist? We do. Spaceman, you know what? Spaceman is level 1. What does that give him? Vessel science, return 105. Reset experiments, run experiments from AVA. He trained and he orbited. So this guy can do all the same things, but the vessel science return is 100%. Let's put Spaceman in. Okay. My wife's name is Karina. Send her. No, because she might actually die. I don't mind if you die on stream, but we're not killing your wife. Your fictional widow Michaela is going to pilot this mission. Cargo. Okay. So this is liters of inventory space. Someday we'll figure that out. I think we're good here, guys. I think the only thing left to do is launch and see. Oh, you know what we do need? We need stability enhancers, and then we need to check our staging. Where's that? Structural? Yeah. Okay. Let's get these set up. Now I do want you to be radial, please. Go. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, this is all messed up. Let's, so we'll stage the engines first. We'll stage the boosters first, right? We'll turn them on, then we'll release this and send them up. I feel that maybe I should get this closer to the ground here so that it's just above the surface like that. There we go. Okay, so we turn on the boosters and then release them like a fraction of a second later. Then we get rid of the boosters, right? Then we have our second stage engine right here. When that's done, we decouple that. Then we have our main land on Minimus and get home engine. And then finally we decouple that and we have our parachute. So, Kermit the Log is go for launch. Wish me luck, guys. We've got 6,682 milliseconds of DB. We've got science experiments. We've got batteries. We've got communication antenna. We're good to go. If I die one more time, can I be the pilot? You tried it. Don't forget to visit the poles and other biomes. Yeah. If we have the DV on the way home, we'll try to hit one of the poles to get some extra science so we can unlock more stuff. Okay, so now one thing I could look at here is attempting to Let's take a look at Minimus here. Right. So our inclination is going to be 0, and Minimus has an inclination of what, 6? I don't think there's a good way to... I'm not going to mess with it. This is an untested rocket. We're not going to try to do anything fancy. We're just going to launch, and then we'll do the inclination burn, the normal, anti-normal stuff to fix it. All right, so throttles to full. And SAS to stability. Okay, here we go, guys. In T-minus 5, 4, 3, wait, quick save, 2, 1. And we're going up. Meters per second. Let's see how maneuverable we are. Get to 10 degrees. It's rocking a little. Stay still, stay still. Okay. What is that? I don't know what that is. Alright, let's lock to prograde. Bring up our orbit. We want apoapsis around 60 at some point before we kind of cut the engine a little bit. Getting ready to go on to our next stage quickly here. Why is it going up? Oh no! What was that? I don't know what that was. That was nasty. I don't think it ruined too much. I think we're okay. That was gross. Having a bit of trouble here controlling this. We're on prograde, but she's not. Let's see. Well, our apoapsis is. We're at a very steep ascent profile. Hang on. Wait, what is going on? Why is it full burn still? What is happening? The engine was damaged and cannot shut down. Oh, we're not actually in control of it. We're not attached to it. Oh gosh. Oh no. We're completely detached from everything. Oh no. No, it broke the stage off. You need to stage, release, and next engine at the same time. Look at the staging groups. Oh no. I can't get off the... I can't get off the rocket. It's just burning behind us. Maybe I can get off of it this way, kind of like... There we go. All right. Oh boy. Okay. All right. That was not great. So what do we have? We've just got the capsule. Looks like we lost the heat shield. Oh, guys, I don't know if you survive re-entry here. Probably not. There's really nothing for it but to pray. I have like no control here. We're not going too fast, although gravity is pulling us in as the atmosphere kind of burns us. We lost the heat shield. Yeah, I don't know if you guys survived this. What a disaster. (1,500 meters per second). We might survive without the heat shield. Maybe. We're slowing down a lot. Spin to win. Yes. Now, if the chutes were not damaged, you should survive here. Okay, the atmosphere is slowing us down. I think you are going to survive, so not great. Not great. No more crap for the fan to hit. Yeah, there's nothing left, right? So we just see if the chutes save you guys. I have literally nothing else I can do. Okay, all right. So a disastrous launch, but our Kerbals were saved. Thank goodness. Quick thinking of mission control to spin and get the capsule off the candle burning behind it. Whew, that was a close one, guys. You almost all died. All right, so we have to examine what went wrong there. It's going to take us a minute here. Okay. So Radwina, who was the pilot here? Michaela? Michaela has an after-action review. She's going to be disciplined. She did not fire the engine fast enough, and the boosters caused all kinds of problems. She's going to point her fingers at mission control, saying the staging was all messed up. Radwina's going to back her up. Everyone's going to be pointing fingers. We don't have time to examine what went wrong. Send them back up and see if we can recreate it. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the VAB. Let's load up Kermit the Frog. Now, is this still crewed the same way? It is, okay. So mainly what happened was our engines were all messed up. I think I want to move this much higher. I want to move this here. And then we'll attach it to that. Oh, we can't. Hold on. So that does have to be in roughly kind of the same spot, but what if I do something like this? We're not on radial here. Oh, I can't do that because of the ladder. I want this as high as I can get it. There we go. I think that's better. That's a little bit better. And then we need to have the... Okay, so let's check we've got boosters. I think we'll just put these into the same category. Boosters fire, and then we put this engine in with the decouplers, right? So those pop off the boosters and this fires at the same time. And then the rest of it should be the same. Okay, there we go. Guys, I think that'll fix it. Let's save that change. Staging was messed up. The engine needs to burn with the side boosters. You need to burn all 4 of your mains together and just turn down the power slightly on launch. Do I? So rather than... Because the boosters take us up through the atmosphere, or at least the thickest part of it, and then we get rid of them. And then this is more efficient, right? Because it's not fighting the atmosphere, so this fuel becomes more efficient. This is the way I've done it before, so I'll keep what you said in mind. We'll maybe try that if this doesn't work again, if this fails again. Do we need better fins or larger fins or more fins? There was a little bit of a... We did have the reaction wheel up here, right? That's what this is? Yeah. We were mostly okay. If I hadn't screwed up that one part, it would have worked, I think. All right, let's save the changes here, and let's launch again. So, that was the problem. Looks good. You need more batteries. The engine produces... Yeah, I think the Terrier produces electricity, so we should be okay. All right, here we go. Second attempt. These three are back after their after-action review. Brave, very brave to get back on the exact same ship with a slightly modified staging, but that's Kerbals for you. Let's go. It's twisting a little bit. I don't know if that's weather or what that is. Oh, it's because I don't have SAS on. 100 meters per second. We'll start our burn here. Our turn, rather. To about 10 degrees and hold it there until heart rate catches up. Okay, that looks good. It's locked to prograde now. Where we screwed up last time. Let's see if it works this time. We're okay. Okay, we're okay. Let's see. Our heading is a little bit wrong here. But I don't think I can fix that. Okay, so we are on ascent. We're on an ascent profile. We'll have to fix the orbit. It looks like it's a little off east. Full throttle. Good point. I forgot to set the throttle at launch. Okay, we want apoapsis to get up around... Well, at least to... Actually, we're really close to the apo here, so we'll burn this for a bit. But when we get that to like 60, 65, I think, cut and coast a little bit closer. Maybe not. Yeah, that should be okay. We can get a little bit closer. It's actually a pretty good gravity turn. Let's get apo to 65. Okay. Now, when this hits T minus 30 seconds, I go back to a full burn. And we should get the last 10 meters to apo above the atmosphere, or the last 5, I guess, while extending our periapsis a lot more. Purple button, 80K, thank God we live, then turn and burn. Okay. We've got 4,200. We're still good. We're not quite into an orbit yet, but let's see what happens. Climbing up to 70. This is good. This is good. Periapsis is growing as well. So we'll keep burning here until apo's around 72, I guess. Actually, we're close enough that we're just going to keep burning until periapsis is where we need it to be. Oh, we went a little bit too far here, but that's okay. All right, so we're in an orbit. The peri is inside the atmosphere, which is not good, but we can just make a quick trip over to AP. Let's just warp here. And we'll do a very small burn here to get our periapsis outside of the atmosphere and get our stable orbit. Hey, Bob Schwan, welcome back to the channel. Bob says that is almost a perfect burn. It's better to have an orbit of 80 kilometers so you have a bit of wiggle room above the atmosphere. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we used up. We've got almost 3,000 left. So that went pretty well. I burned it a little bit too long. I didn't want the Apo this high, but it's fine. We burned up a little extra fuel. Where are we? Why are we going so slowly? Can't you warp more than this in orbit? I guess not. You could have added Bob. He's here now. Well, we've got our crew. We've got Raduina, Michaela, and Spaceman. So all of this work, that little gap I was worried about, didn't cause too much of a problem. And we've got 3,000 DV to get to Minimus, land, and come back. Is that enough? It was like 14 to get out there. This might be really tight. I'm not sure. We'll have to go out there and see how much we have once we're in orbit around Minimus. And whether we have enough to come back. You're going to have to stretch your Apo out anyway. Radu says it's enough. Okay. To land? Remember, this is going to be my first time ever landing on a moon. I might not, like, do it very well. I might waste a bunch of fuel. Okay. Why is my... There we go. I can go more than that. Where's my AP? Urban apoapsis. Okay, yeah, let's get there. Let's just do a little bitty burn here at AP. T minus 1 minute. Okay, that's fine. Let's watch our periapsis here. Just put a tiny little trickle of fuel in. There we go. 70, 72, 73. That's fine. So next thing we need to worry about is setting our targets to be Minimus. And now we need to fix our inclination, right? Because our current inclination is 16.8, I guess. Is that right? Yeah, we have a janky orbit. So we're going to need to come over to the ascending node here. And add a maneuver to burn, what, normal? No, anti-normal. Okay. It's going to take 350 meters to get, or a little bit more, actually. Because we need the inclination to be at 6 degrees. Right? That's where we want things? I'm pretty sure. Now, do I want to do this here, or do I want to do it... So that's 600 meters per second to fix that. That's a lot. Too expensive. Just wing it like this and burn without the correction? Okay. Well, let's see what that looks like. I don't know exactly where we would do this, but we'll just kind of like add a maneuver and try and get there, I suppose. I don't see how we do that. Like, won't it go way, way above the plane of the orbit? That's the moon. That's an encounter with the moon if we do it that way. What is this? Curb and escape. Closest approach. Target position. Okay. Let's bring this down a little bit. What is this? The Sun Apoapsis, curb and escape. Closest approach. Target position at closest approach. What is that? Closest approach. Is that an encounter or curb and escape? We don't want that. This is way too much DV, right? That's the problem. I don't know about this, guys. It's really hard to figure out with the inclination change the way it is. So do we want to use like the moon for a gravity assist, or what do we want to do here? I got bad news. You don't have enough. Roll it around to find a good spot. Yeah. In my career, I used crafts with 2,500 meters per second from low orbit of Kerbin to get to Minimus. So we need to get out there. I mean, we need to spend some DV, for sure. Hold on. Target position at closest approach. That's further away. Can we spend more here? And then what if we put another, so target position at closest approach. So we're going to be going too fast, right? So what if we come out to like here and add another maneuver, and then there we kind of slow down, right? Just a little bit. What is that? Kerbin. Approach. Wait, what was that? That's an encounter with the moon. There we go, hold on. Minimus. Is that an encounter? Closest approach. Am I going too fast now? Wait. What's that? Nope. I'm trying to figure this out. Alright, I don't think this second maneuver is going to do the job here. So we're going to be going too fast. I wonder if we can slow down somewhere. Or if we slow this down, then what happens? Maneuver 1. Yeah, if we slow it down... Am I not understanding this correctly? That's close, right? If we swing this around a little bit now. So we can get to there for 855, but we can't get an encounter. What if we jump forward a few orbits? Does that change anything? Hang on. Yeah, let's try skipping forward a couple orbits like this. There we go. There's an encounter. Minimus escape. Closest approach. It's not an encounter yet, but it's getting closer. So it's, what is the problem with it? It's the height change. So if we orbit for a few days and mess around with it, we might be able to get there. Minimus, periapsis, closest approach, 2,247.4 kilometers. I think that might be, is that an encounter? I can't tell. It's so hard to see on this map. Let me catch up with you guys. You have extra 500, might be close. Hang on, I just lost the window here. That inclination won't be easy to solve. You can save 70 meters per second delta V from a moon gravity assist. You can also fix your plane with the moon. Tab your POIs. Has to be the ascending node or descending nodes. You're aiming at Minimus. Pretty sure you need to aim it where it's gonna be for an easier encounter. If I look a little bit more closely at what's going on here, there is a Minimus encounter on this. It's a very narrow window, but I think we can do this. So we're gonna circle for 8 days. All right, let's try this. Let's see if this works, because there is an encounter there for 851 meters per second. We're gonna have to get close up and then burn some more, and then try and land this bitch. But I think it's worth it. So we're just orbiting Kerbin for a bunch for many, many days. 7 or 8 days, while Minimus moves into the position we need it to be in. This is pretty funny. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Time warp complete. Start burn in 57 seconds. Maneuver 1 is pure prograde. We're facing prograde. Let's check our vehicle real quick in terms of electric charge, 143 of 150. The batteries are kind of okay as well. All right. So, we're facing prograde. And we're going to start this burn. It's a very tight window, but when we get closer, we can kind of fine-tune it a little bit. I'm going to try it, guys. Wish me luck. This has... We're going to need to stage the second engine as well. The final engine, rather. Okay, burn in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Actually, I wonder if the change in engines is gonna like screw up this calculation. Probably, right? It's not letting me... Oh, I have to swap here. Stage. Okay. So I probably screwed the pooch on that. Let's see where we are and see if we can fix it. Okay, so... Somehow... No, we're gonna hit the moon here. Alright, we need to burn more. I don't know what this is gonna do, but... We've got a problem with the moon as well. Okay, well, I have completely screwed the pooch here. Kermit the Log, debris, and Kermit the Log. All right, so we're on this path. We need to add a maneuver here and figure out exactly what we're doing. So are we burning more prograde? I guess we are, yeah, okay. So we didn't burn enough. But we can fix it, it looks like. An 11-second burn, okay. 2161. When all else fails, land and try again. That's quitter talk. I don't want to hear that. We need another 61 meters per second of burn. Let's get it. Let's get it. We can at least get into orbit. We might not be able to land, but we can at least get in orbit and get home. Wait a minute. Where's our? Oh, this is the lander. This is the last engine. Okay. So, let's see where we are now. We are destined for. We're on the blue line. So we'll have AP here. And then what? We have a Minimus encounter in 11 days. And then Minimus escape very shortly thereafter. Okay. We need to get up closer. Let's add a maneuver here. And let's see if we can get in orbit around Minimus. So we're inside the encounter window. And we're going to burn... Now, which side of it are we on, though? I can't tell which side of the planet of the thing we're on. All right. Well, let's burn retrograde and see what that does. Wait. Hold on. It was there for a second, I think. No. I thought I saw an orbit in there. Wouldn't it be a retrograde burn to slow down and capture it? Minimus periapsis 1.8 million? All right, hang on. I need to figure this out. So if I'm inside the encounter window in 8 days or whatever, then I should be able to do a burn. Send me your zip file in a save. You can't be in map mode for staging. When all else fails, land to try again. Make sure you quick save. You gotta get enough gas, I think. Yes, retro. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out is like, how do I... You know what? Let's get a little bit closer. Let's come out. It's not like we can't orbit back home. Let's warp here. Let's get closer so that I can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Does it really take that long to travel? Where is the little guy? There he is. Okay. All right, so let's see what we're working with. We have the Minimus encounter. Our periapsis on Minimus is 1,911. And then escape. So let's, okay, we know how to do this. We put a maneuver at the periapsis. Add maneuver, right? And then we just burn retrograde. Well, that doesn't seem right. Hang on. Is there another version of this that I can... Minimus. So we're going to be below it is part of the problem, right? Ooh, that's interesting. For 18 meters per second, we can kind of change the way things work. Why does it seem like... Oh, we're entering a retrograde orbit, that's why. Hold on, what is this? What is this line? So here... Then what? Do we burn retrograde here? What is that? Minimus periapsis 384. Oh, hold up. Hold up. Get a super jank orbit around Minimus like this, but it is an orbit for 26. Hang on. Okay, all right. I think we might be able to do this here. Let's try. Let's see. Okay. So first we need to get to our first maneuver, and that maneuver is normal. Okay, let's get there. Let's try this. Let's try it. I should quick save too. We don't have the ability to auto track it, so we just kind of gotta do it by hand here. So we're gonna point at the maneuver node. As close as we can get it. And then we do our burn. 4-second burn in T-minus 34. All right. Let's get a little bit closer. And burn. I think I lost a little bit of the maneuver there, but we're okay. Let's look at the new maneuver. Oh, maneuver 1 is completed. So now we have maneuver 2. And that is going to what? And then the new maneuver 2, is that still putting us in an orbit? No, not quite. Let's tweak this a little bit. Are we going too fast, or where did the orbit go? We had an orbit here. Is that it? I think we... I think I've confused myself. I think we kind of got close there, but let's delete these and start again. Okay. So here we are. We've got an encounter with Minimus coming up, right? It's going to be over there. And so there's the encounter, there's the escape. So at periapsis, we want to... The problem is retrograde is not super going to help us here because... Or maybe it will. We have set Minimus as our target. Let's try some retrograde here again. What is that then? Curb and apoapsis. What was that? Minimus escape. Okay, so we okay. There is a world in which we can get there. Let's get this going in smaller. There we go. Small increments. What are we at here? Negative. There we go. Okay, that puts us in orbit. It's expensive, 192. You burn the wrong way. You have to follow the blue point when manual burning. Yeah, I lost track of it, I know. Okay, so this next maneuver is pure retrograde. Let's warp there. I want to get this exactly... It's a really fine orbit here. Okay. Looks like we should be able to do this. So we're going to... Z... in 35. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Okay, so this is a garbage orbit, absolutely, but we actually made it there, and we've got 1880. So technically, we have enough to get home, I think. Let's fix our orbit here, though. I'd like to touch... Let's see where we are. How close can we... Can we see Minimus at the moment? I don't think so. It's really small, right? Unless maybe that's it. Not sure. So I'd like to fix my orbit for going home, but maybe not. Let's do a very small retro burn at AP here. There we go. I think we'll just do, yeah, 15 meters per second. All right, so that's going to be our next maneuver to kind of slowly narrow in on this. Very slowly and carefully. Let's do that. Yeah, we're like orbiting the wrong way and everything. This was not a good mission. This was a kind of a disaster, but nobody's dead yet is the only difference. Retrograde. Let's burn in a little bit closer. Okay. Now we'll come over to periapsis and do another little retro burn. Periapsis at 7 kilometers. I like that. I'm trying to be efficient here with my fuel. Theoretically, 1,500 should be enough to get home, or to land and get home. All right. So our periapsis right now is 10 kilometers. No, 10,000? Yeah, 10,000 meters. Yeah, so 10 kilometers. Is that a point there? That's a point. Yeah, 10,400 meters. So I think we burn a little bit. I think we burn a little bit more over here and try to land on the surface now. So we'll do another retro here until periapsis is on the surface. $575 meters. Negative 158 meters. There we go. Right on the surface, somewhere on the sunward side, right around there, I think. Okay, so let's try this. Seven-second burn time. Okay, here we go. Can we make it to the surface? Can we land successfully? And get home would be nice too, but we can always leave them there for a couple of years while we build up the space program and get more experience if we need to. All right, so I'm going to Z this. All right. So we went a little bit further than we intended to. Let's just correct a little teeny tiny bit. There we go. Right on target. So now comes actually landing this thing, which I have no idea what this is going to be like, but let's try. Let's go ahead and speed up a little bit. Keeping an eye on our altimeter, 9,000 feet. 8,000. 7,000. I guess the ground is changing behind us. That's why the number is kind of changing up and down. Let's do it. Make me first woman on Minimus. Drop gear. Yeah, good reminder. Thank you for that. Let's get a little bit closer here. Let's get down around the 2,000 meter mark. Yeah, we're going over a valley now, so that's why the altimeter's climbing, I believe. Okay. So we want to face retrograde, absolutely. We're still kind of pretty much horizontal here, so we might have a ways to go. Let me check the map. Yeah, we've got like a ways to go here. That's kind of closer. And let's go ahead and, like somebody said, who reminded me? Drop gear. Michael reminded me to drop the gear. All right, let's extend the legs. Okay. And we still got a ways to go here. Let's speed up until it turns around. Cannot warp faster than 1x while below something something. 3,000 meters and PE below 6250. Okay. So we actually cannot warp any faster here, which means this last kind of leg of this journey, we're just going to have to drift along, I guess. PE below 6250. Yeah, there's nothing for it. We just kind of got to wait. We do get a real close look at the surface of Minimus here, though. That's interesting. So there are these large, flat, like, areas. It would be great to land in one of those. And then there's the mountains. Should we rotate it all here? I don't know which way we want to face. Face towards the sky, I suppose. So we're still 2,000 feet up, unfortunately. Let me quick save here and go to the Space Center, and maybe we can advance time here by a little bit. Yeah, let's go forward like just a few minutes, right? And then go back and check in. Where is it now? 800 meters. Yeah, that worked really well. Okay. So at this point, we want to face retrograde, and then, or do we want to go stability assist here? Drop gear. Angle your window to face the direction that you want to go for a correct orbit. Yeah, I don't know about that. If we get in here, we want to face... Yeah, probably the best heading would be, what, 90 degrees? This is actually surprisingly pretty close where we are right now. So how do I... It's going to take it another minute to actually drop. The flat area is a biome, and the other one next to it is another biome, the less flat area. Yeah, okay. Radwina, Michaela, and Spaceman are all pretty stoked at the moment. So we need to land here. I guess I could, like, give us a little bit of a poke. I don't want to spend too much fuel. I'm watching this number. Just slow down and maybe we can land on this ice thing. For some reason, it's not, like, turning towards the ground. Oh, wait a minute. Now it's starting to get there. Okay, alright, okay. Okay, we're gonna land on this ice thing. I think that's gonna help us. It looks pretty flat. Okay. We'll get ready. We'll get down around 75 meters, and then we'll get ready to, like, really burn hard. And now we just feather it down to the ground, right? Landed. Landed on Minimus with 1550 to get home. How about that, guys? Woo! Easy science for 2 biomes, and you want to do retro, not stable. Okay. Did I screw up the landing somehow? I mean, we landed. We're down. We're down here, so I'm pretty happy about it. Okay, let's quick save there. How long have I been streaming? How long did it take to get here? 2 hours and 7 minutes? Yeah, this was a long one, but hey, we got here. I don't know if we're going to get home today, but this was a pretty big achievement. First landing on a foreign planet. Okay. Now, let's do some science. First of all, let's get a crew report, guys. Crew report from Minimus's Greater Flats. You record the crew's assessment of the situation. Recovery 25 science. And we could actually transmit it all now. That's interesting. You know what? We might need this because if these guys can't get home from here, we'll keep it for now because I don't want to drain the batteries. But there's our first crew report. Now, next up, let's crack open the Science Junior. And let's conduct the material study. While the material samples were processed, you began to turn your thoughts to how much Minimus looks like a mint dessert and have discovered that you are now hungry. 125 science. Look at that. Fantastic. Close those doors. Next up, we can do the left side instruments. We can do a goo report. Observe the goo. 50 science, love that. We can do a pressure report, another 60 science. And we can do a temperature report, another 40 science. Okay, now we are going to EVA our scientist. So, Spaceman, who unfortunately is not here, is going to do an EVA. And he is going to climb down. And should he be the very first Kerbal on the surface? He's our scientist, I guess so. The pilot had the glory of flying us here. There we go. Kerman has landed on the surface of Minimus. Let's get an EVA report. You feel like a bit of a superhero when you jump in the low gravity. Let's plant a flag. Ooh, site name and plaque text. Site name can be Kermit's Lily Pad. Spaceman Kerman here became the first Kerbal to stand on to walk amongst the stars. There we go. And our scientists can also take a surface sample. Surface sample from Minimus's Greater Flats. You sneak a taste of the surface sample. Nope, it is definitely not made of delicious dessert products. 150 science. Love that. Okay, so is there any other science we can do? I don't think so. Now the question is, can we get home? Oops, a little strong there. I'm gonna grab. Okay. Let's see. How do I get him up a little bit higher here? There we go. Board. Okay, now, the other two are also going to get a chance to... we're also going to get a chance to Ava. So, Raduina, she's going to do an Ava and an Ava report. Let's keep that. Let's board back in. Experiments you've collected cannot be stored on this Mark III. Yeah, okay. That's the Ava report, right? Because she already stored in this module. Yeah, okay. Well, she's doing the report for her own kind of peace of mind. And then let's have Michaela do an Ava as well. I don't know if they get like experience from that, but let's have her do it anyway. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to take a break here, and next time we stream, we'll see whether we can get these guys home or not on 1556. I don't know. It's an interesting challenge, right? Very interesting. Because our orbit's all messed up. Theoretically, this should be enough, but it's going to be a very challenging return, I think, to get home. But we've got tons of science stored up, and... when we get home, we're not going to be able to probably land on the North Pole like we had wanted, but Radu wants to touch the ground? Sure, why not? Oops. There you go. You actually you're the first woman Kerbal to fall on the ground on another planet. Or not another planet, on Minimus, on a moon. Now then. I wonder if we should have them get out and push to get some extra DV. All right. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for being here, for your tips and advice, and for enjoying this incredible game with me. I'm really excited for the sequel. Better graphics, better UI, and more kind of onboarding tutorial stuff. Really fun. Also, one thing I'll say real quick before I go. Let me do a quick save and then an actual save here. We'll call this stream. Save right there. One thing I do want to point out before I go, exit to the main menu. Last night I tried going into these scenarios here. I was looking at the training and the scenarios. And some of them are really interesting. This one in particular, Ava on Duna. So I learned a lot from doing this. You start with her on Duna, right? And she's got this little teeny tiny lander. So you got to get in the lander, lift off into an orbit, and intercept the main ship, which is in orbit. So this is like the Starbeam lander, and then there's a Starbeam in orbit around Duna. So you got to get up there and intercept it. Then you have to use your RCS or your jetpack. You have to do a spacewalk to get over there. Now, on my playthrough, or my attempt on this, it took me about 2 hours to get within 10 meters of intercept, and then I Ava across. And it's pretty hard to get into the cockpit. You got to use the thrusters to get right in front of it and grab it, which is harder than it sounds. And then the Starbeam itself has limited fuel to get home, so you got to figure out how to plot an interplanetary trajectory. So for me, these scenarios are really interesting, and this one in particular, I recommend you guys try it. Michael, I think you in particular really have fun trying to get her home, because you don't have to go out and rescue her. She has to rescue herself. So anyway, these scenarios are kind of fun as well. Lots of interesting stuff. There's a moon rover, powered landing, refuel. So there's docking practice in some of these scenarios and things. Anyway, wanted to point that out before I stopped the stream today, because I had a lot of fun with the Ava on Duna scenario, and I challenge you guys to go and complete this if you can. You've got very limited resources, and you got to use everything you know. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much again for being here. I'm going to go get some breakfast, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And we'll see you next time. Take care.